I'm going to show you how easy it is to bring out the facial features within an image, build on what's been brought in very nicely by photographer Ken Neringer on this portrait. So within the Craig's Actions beauty bar, action set, we've got a whole series of options, different workflows, some trainer actions, get you used to working with some of the techniques within here. They walk you through things step by step, a great way to learn what to do. They're very simple on their own, but you just got some extra help there if you want to make use of it. So we've got our various different workflows within here. We're going to skip past the workflows, come down to the areas with the touch-ups. And now within here, one that you'll find you'll make a lot of use of, you can do this before or after. Generally I tend to make use of it before I go in and do some of the softening and final output techniques. So we've got our eye color for whitening the teeth, whitening the teeth and within the eyes as well, bringing out those details. We'll just press play. You'll see you get your instruction set that pops up, cues you for what's going to happen, what goes on next. Now you get a little tip to carry on. We'll follow that and we'll just zoom in on the image here. You can see where we're working on here. And a tip, if your brush, you want to make it lighter or darker in terms of the opacity that you're brushing with, just make use of the number keys up here and you'll see that you're able to change 3 becomes 30, 7 becomes 70, and you can get that built in and quick access on the opacity. Similarly, if you use the bracket keys to the right of the letter P, bracket to the right becomes a larger brush and left bracket becomes smaller brush. So we can quickly change our sizes there, make use of our brush in and around 30%, and we're ready to go. And I find working with just circular motions is a great way to do this rather than trying to figure out the exact contouring that way. We'll come in on this side, do the same thing again. I like to work around 30%, allows me to go through things just a little bit more finite control. You can see the before and after that we did there. And if we were to go outside the lines, let's do that a little more harshly. To go outside the lines, we say, alright, well guess what, we did that twice. We can't exactly use our undo key. All you need to do is hit the X key and you'll see that things switch over here. And now you can paint in on the mask and take away your little boo-boo that slipped up earlier. So if you went outside the lines, that's not a concern because the action set up the palette so that you've always got control as to how you're working and what you're able to do with your image. We can even come in and decide, as you see on the icon here, double click on there, we have our adjustments set up. We can make that lighter or darker. Now in this case we'll make it lighter there. We can also come in and adjust the color, bringing out some of that green. Just bring this to the center here. Green there, a whole lot, definitely an alien look to her, or a little more natural there, or perhaps even a totally different color. Bring up through there. Certainly these days, contact lenses can be a fashion statement, brought out to enhance and match clothing. Let's go in, just take down the green element and leave her with those blue eyes. So very nice there, and you can see the before and after. Very effective way to deal with the eye treatments there. So we'll just zoom in again, go into our eye whites, and with a Wacom tablet it's great because you've got the ability to have greater control with your brush as we come in, and in this case this is a little too heavy. Working with that 100%, we'll just easily undo there. We'll go into the 30% again and just follow the contour of the eye. With the Wacom tablet and the brush stylus, just by making use of a very light touch, we can go with a smaller brush size so that I'm not always continually changing my brush size. And we'll come in on, just work on the edge of that eye highlight. You can see what's going on there. Just cleaned it up. If you want to do that over retouched look, this is where you can do it, or you can just do it quite naturally and just bring out the highlights as we see them. And fairly self-explanatory, the eye blacks allow us to come in and accentuate the edges of the eyes. I like to use this around the 10 or 20%. So we'll just come in, work the density around the eyes through here. Just build up through there. We'll go to 10% and just work that mascara line. I could use a smaller brush. fine with what's going on here. So again, just through there, before, after, you can see how we've accentuated our details. Now let's look in on the teeth. Hello, teeth. We'll click on there. Not that she really needs a whole lot of help here, but just to brighten up would certainly look quite nice. And if you do something you really don't see anything happening, check your opacity. In this case, we're up at 10%, which we kind of forgot about. Let's go to 50 so we get a little easier to see. Do that. And again, a light touch brings it out there and there. Pretty much got what we need. Now, if we were to decide that, kind of liking that, but it's a little bit too bright, that's where the controls come into on your layers palette over here. Green for go. Everything's built up in here and intended for you to be able to have that control over your images. We can simply take those effects, scale them down. So you can see on the teeth, this is where we were. We can take that as little or as much as we want, or somewhere in between. So here's our starting point on the image. Now we've gone in, I'll just zoom in a little bit more. Brought out some very nice details, accentuated some of her features, and presenting a very nice natural look. We can go in with a little more emphasis on the lines and the harsher colors and contouring and things that we're doing if we want as well. And certainly in the next tutorial, you'll see how to make use of the other elements within the touch-up section here for the lips, the lip gloss, and the blush and foundation treatment. There's your before, there's your after. With the Craig's Actions treatments, you've always got the control and quality right at your fingertips.